In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. It's episode 1205.
Fuck it.
It's Tuesday, doing it live. 1205. And welcome. It's another week. We got a new goal to meet. Just reminding everyone, $5 TTS. You wanna move the chains on the goal. We can get an early start to it. Please feel free to do so. Also, tomorrow, the return of Spin Till You Spew. Myself versus Jeff Holiday. Tomorrow, Spin Till You Spew returns.
Ooh.
Spin Till You Spew returns. Jeff Holiday is going down.
Ooh.
Going down.
Is he back from his road trip?
Yep, he's back.
Oh, baby.
That's why we're doing it at kind of a weird, day, because that was what was best for him. So we're doing it on a Wednesday. So sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/DP. $5 gets you that and another private show coming up. So don't forget, sign up, patreon.com/DP. Also, if you want other free content, sign up for our audio feed. You can do it through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of the podcast apps. Anywhere you get your podcast, go there and sign up, because we just recorded about a 15-minute one before we started this. Gives you a little behind the scenes. We talk about the stuff we're about to cover on the show and whatever else comes to our mind.
Yeah, it's really like the new show. This show you're watching right now is just a prolonged happy ending.
This is the post show. That's the show now, and this is the post show.
Yeah.
And then we do the post show, which we are going to do after this episode. We're gonna review the next part of ISOM in our continued ISOM review series. What are your thoughts so far?
Oh, it's the greatest story ever told.
I thought that was Jesus, like the story.
Same thing.
Oh.
Same thing.
Oh.
Same thing.
Oh.
Mind blown. Episode 1205.
1205.
Could you believe you've done 1,205 episodes of Drunken Peasants Podcast?
And in all honesty, I've done way more too. It's just the like official ones, and then all the other ones. I'm guessing the amount of streams I've done, like live streams, must be like
in the millions.
No, I was gonna say like over 5,000, maybe.
Over 5,000.
Yeah, I would think
That's
so.
a lot.
Maybe 4,000 to 5,000. That's my guess. Then you'd have to define like what a stream is and how long it would have to be like an official stream, but that's my guess.
That's a lot.
Everyone who's watching right now, please like the stream. YouTube does not help us at all when it comes to bringing in viewers, existing or new. So we depend on you to do the like button. If you're watching this after the fact when we're not live, click the like button. It still helps. When I dispute the yellow $, which goes through almost every time I do it, it takes like almost a whole day for them to review it now. So we don't get full monetization on the video until the video's already gotten most of the views that it's going to get.
It's almost
we're getting butt pumped by
should
YouTube.
Just record the episode and upload it a day later.
Yeah, but then we don't get the live donos,
Well, yeah, of course. We can't leave our audience in the dark.
It's more fun live, too. I've done shows in the past knowing they were pre-recorded, and I felt like the energy wasn't there. because it was like, oh yeah, they'll watch this later. There's nobody actually. You can't act like people are watching it while you're doing it.
That's what I do when I'm masturbating.
Oh,
I have a watch fetish. I like to be watched. I pretend like I'm
gonna stop this, whatever you're saying right now, and move on to the next thing. Let's check out this interview that Donald Trump did recently with Fox News. It's eye-opening because I've never seen Fox News try to embarrass Trump the way they did. Let's play the intro. We haven't done it in a while.
He called me sir and got me so human angry.
People are discriminating against wolves.
Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
All right. So here is, I think the guy's name is like Brett Baer or something like that. He's been an anchor guy at Fox News for a long time, but I've seen him, kind of kiss some Trump ass in the past. But he goes hard on him here.
He's not kissing it today?
No. Here it is.
Mr. President, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
I've asked this question, the same first question, to all the candidates.
Also, Trump wishes he had hair like this dude has. Like, when Trump combs his hair in the mirror, he sees his hair as if it's this guy's hair.
I've interviewed this year, and that is this. What do you think is the most important issue facing the country right now?
So many, so important, but we have to straighten out the economy. We're going to do that through inflation.
I have a dog with like a yellow lab, and when I sweep up her fur that's all over the floor and it's a big pile, it looks like Trump just sets that on top of his head.
Trump might have mange.
He has a mane?
He might have mange.
We have to straighten out our border where we have millions of people pouring in, and we're going to do that very quickly. I had the safest border in the history of our country, and now we have the most unsafe, I think, anywhere in the world. There's never been anything like it.
Yeah, our border compares to the Gaza Strip right now. It's terrible.
And up our military, giving $85 billion to...
Is that the Gaza Kozo Strip?
Yeah.
Afghanistan didn't exactly help, but we have to strengthen up our military, get the woke out of our military.
Okay, get the woke out of our... I think what he means is reinstitute the,
don't ask, don't tell.
Well, he didn't do that, but he did a transgender ban. Because Obama got rid of don't ask, don't tell. And then Trump, when he got in power, he was like, oh, you can't be trans in the military. The military's lucky to get whoever they get. We're very lucky that we have a volunteer military, and they should not be picky. If someone's willing to do the job and they meet all the requirements, they shouldn't be discriminating because they're lucky to have them.
Studies have shown that all the woke people in the military are highly effective at annoying our opposition. It's really good.
And basically respect all over the world. We don't have it anymore. We had tremendous respect 3 years ago. We don't have respect anymore. They don't listen to us.
I miss all that respect we had.
They just don't do what we want them to do.
Yeah, it's funny because even in the early days where it was kind of like Trump says he's running for president, but we all just kind of thought he was joking, and I do think maybe he was at first until he saw that he could actually win. He was always like, oh yeah, we're the laughing stock of the world. Everyone thinks we're a joke because of our current leadership. And it was when we were in the Iraq War, and it was really contentious. He was against all that, and he didn't like George Bush. But then it was like when he was in office, aside from a few countries, we were like really the laughing stock of those countries because we had a cartoon character as president. It was ridiculous.
Saban97 in the pleb chat says he forgot they laughed him out of the UN. Trump always forgets negative things about
himself. Yeah,
always.
And he fabricates negative things about people he does. There's plenty of negative things about Biden, but Trump makes shit up when he doesn't even have to.
Trump has zero reason to know anything. He can just say what he wants and people believe him.
Some people believe him.
The one time he said he could go out in public and shoot somebody and the people would support him, he was right. And that was something he pulled out of his ass, and it manifested into reality.
It's true.
Trump's a witch.
Well,
bring back Salem.
He kind of does have almost hypnotic powers over his base, but those same actions make the people against him hate him even more. So it has this opposite effect over one part of the voting base, and this effect on his voting base that just like emboldens them.
And as a big dick lefty, look what happened. We hated Trump so much, we got Biden, who can't even pronounce Buttigieg.
He slurs it too much. I think it might be the medication.
He called him booty juice and then laughed.
And
then laughed. He was like, "Thank you, booty juice."
He did that God Save the Queen thing, which is weird because the Queen's been dead for like almost a year, and we're not part of the United Kingdom, so that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
they have to do, especially since we make life very good for many countries, and we have to get that respect back. And if we don't, we've got some big problems.
We asked viewers to send in questions on social media. We had a ton of responses. Here's one of them. Erica tweets this. What is the first thing you will do to turn this country around if you get elected?
Well, I do two simultaneously. I'd start drilling. We have the most liquid gold under our feet oil than any other country.
Under our feet oil?
Yeah, it was weird how he worded that because he means oil is the liquid gold.
We got the most liquid gold under our feet oil. He's talking about putting up a fetish OnlyFans. That's what he's talking about.
And that's going to bring down the pressure on inflation, and we're going to have very little inflation very soon. We had virtually none when I was president. And second, I'd close up the border, because we can't have prisoners and people from mental institutions coming into our country. They're emptying out from all over the world, not just from the 3 or 4 countries we talk about, the neighboring countries all over the world. They're coming into our country at levels that nobody's ever seen before, Brett.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I can't remember if it was the last show we did or the one before when I mentioned Howard Dean, how like him just getting like overly excited at a campaign rally ruined it for him. That's just crazy how he was just like getting excited and being like, yeah, like that. And they were like, oh, no, that we can't have him. He was like ahead of everybody. And that's what made John Kerry the nominee, just because of that. But now at least for the Republicans, that has changed where it doesn't matter what you do or what you say. They support you no matter what, especially if the other side comes at you extra hard.
Biden had a lot of fucking moments that were a lot worse than Bia, too.
Billy, hope you are doing well.
Thank you, Logic Blaster.
Thank you, and you actually started off the tip train, so I appreciate it.
It's Tippy Tuesday.
And we have to stop it. And they are emptying out their prisons, and they're emptying out their mental institutions and insane asylums into the U.S., and we're not a dumping ground. I would stop it immediately and get a lot of the bad ones out. We'd get them out very quickly.
Fox viewers were able to watch your speech here at Bedminster.
They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom.
The day of your arrest, and
that sounds good, man. Thanks, Trump.
Believe it?
Federal
arrest by my opponent.
Appearance in
by my opponent. He keeps saying that.
Court in Miami.
I've never once heard Biden be like, yeah, we're going after Trump. We're going to have him arrested.
And your explanation of the Presidential Records Act and your defense, how you and others believe that applies here. Obviously, you know, other legal experts, your Attorney General Bill Barr, they do not think that applies to handling classified national security and defense materials. But that legal battle aside, I just want to ask you a couple of specifics. Why did you have this very sensitive national security defense documents?
So this should be like, he should just be like, oh, I thought I was about to have them, or like I thought I was allowed to have them, whatever. But his response,
as you could tell, I had them in my bathroom. I was trying to save on toilet paper.
I
was going to wet my ass with them.
He needs reading material while he's taking a dump.
I thought they were crossword puzzles. I was going to do them while poo-poo pee-pee.
Like the war plans for a strike on Iran.
So like every other president, I take things out. And in my case...
So like every other president, I take things out.
Yes, I took it out pretty much in a hurry. But
I took it out pretty much in a hurry.
Packed it up and we left. And I had clothing in there.
He had clothing. So he had clothing mixed in.
Some of those boxes are clothing, yeah.
He had clothing mixed in with classified documents.
Yeah, like 98 of those boxes are classified documents, but 2 of them are golf gear.
He said golf shirts.
Had all sorts of personal items and there, much stuff. And by the way, when Bill Barr, who's, a coward, Bill Barr was a coward. Bill Barr didn't do what he was supposed to.
He never stops the attacking. Most of the people he attacks, though, used to be on his side. That's the
I fired him, and he has great hatred, and that's okay, because some people do, and
says
some
he
people
resigned.
love me very much. He didn't resign. I asked him, give me a letter immediately, because he didn't have the courage to go after so many different things, and you and I have discussed it before, but he was a coward. And he obviously doesn't like me too much, and there are a lot of people that don't, and there are a lot of people that feel just the opposite.
But on the specific on the
let
documents.
me just explain.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of things in there. I will go through those boxes. I have to go through those boxes. I take out personal things. As far as the levels and all, everything was declassified because I
One
had
of
the
those
right
boxes was half classified documents, half micro machines.
And he's like, micro machines. I love those commercials where the guy was talking really fast. Yeah, but he's like, oh, I had every right to declassify them. But there's this leaked recording of him admitting he knows that he didn't declassify them because he wasn't president anymore.
Damn it.
Declassify. You want to talk about a mess? Take a look at Biden, where he's got 1,850 boxes. He has boxes stored in Chinatown in D.C.
He always mentions Chinatown as if that's like
China.
Yeah, as if it's like basically actual China and not just like a place in the States where a bunch of Chinese people live.
He has boxes stored at Penn Center, and he has boxes under his Corvette and around his Corvette sitting in a garage for years.
Hold on, was Trump like sneaking into Biden's house or something?
Yeah.
Under his Corvette?
He's sneak dissing that Biden never drives his Corvette.
Well, he can't.
It's surrounded by boxes.
Well, you're not allowed to drive when you're the president.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Was very seriously classified.
In fact, you're never supposed to drive again for the rest of your life, but there is a process where they can waive it, and there have been a few presidents in the past that waived Secret Service protection so they could just live normally and not always have someone around them protecting them.
I have every right to have those boxes. This is purely a Presidential Records Act. This is not a criminal thing. In fact, the New York Times of all had a story just the other day that the only way NARA could ever get this stuff, this back, would be please, 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 could we have it back?
And they
please,
asked for that.
because they have no. We
They
were
did
talking.
ask for it.
No, and
they said,
I gave
"Can you
them
give the
some,
documents back?"
And we were talking.
And then they said,
And we were talking.
They went to
couldn't give them back right away. We were still in the middle of talking.
It's true.
DOJ to subpoena you to get them
Which
back.
they've never done
Boxing
before.
ring is the title.
And in all
Why not
fairness,
just hand them over then?
Because I had boxes. I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out.
Yeah.
I don't want to hand that over to NARA yet. And I
Can't
was
just
very
give them
busy,
his
as you've
micro
sort of
machine
seen.
collection.
Yeah. But
I've been
according to
very,
the
very
indictment,
busy.
you then tell this aide
His
to
Mad
move to other-
magazines.
He likes the fold-ins.
He loves the fold-ins.
I like, honestly, me and Trump have that in common. I really enjoy the fold-ins.
Yeah.
After telling your lawyers, to
Trump
say
and I
you
have
fully-
many things in common. The fold-ins, his daughter. We enjoy all types of the same shit.
complied with the subpoena when you hadn't.
But before I send boxes over, I have to take all of my things out. These boxes.
I love how that's his excuse that he thinks we all buy it. It's like, oh yeah, the reason why I didn't give them back when I was told to is because I needed to get all my stuff out of it, but I was too busy to do it.
I can't find my issue of ISOM #1. It's in one of those boxes. I'm not just going to give that back to the federal government to rare release.
Were interspersed.
It was the foil cover. Everyone like the stream. Please like the stream because YouTube does not share us. And become a patron, please. Please. Patreon.com/DP. Please sign up. We're doing some extra content tonight. We're going to do some extra content before the end of the month. The Patreon is priority. If you can spare a couple bucks to sign up, please join. Patreon.com/DP.
With all sorts
I drew
of
some veiny, throbbing dicks on the back of some of those documents. Don't want to lose those.
things, golf shirts, clothing, pants, shoes. There were many things. I would say
Iran war
much more. Not that I know of, but everything was declassified. And Biden didn't have the right to do that because he wasn't president. Nor did Mike Pence, by the way, have the right to do that because he wasn't president.
All right, I'm not going to belabor this.
No, but
when
you look at
want to
this,
just get to the
other
specifics.
presidents, when they leave, they take the papers. They have thousands and thousands. Obama had it. Nixon had it. Carter had
Their
it. The
argument
Bushes
is that
had
these
it.
are super sensitive national security documents.
I'm
All right, so here's
I'm sure you'll
this
see
is-
real super sensitive that Biden has because
This is-
Biden has far more than anybody's ever kept.
And he turned them over when asked.
No, he
but-
didn't.
but
He
that's
still
what
hasn't
says.
given the 1,850 boxes that's stored at the University of Delaware. In fact, they're fighting him in court, and they're fighting him.
Does he own the University of Delaware? Why are they storing them at the university?
That is weird.
I like how all this shit is stored in Chinatown and at the university, and they're all over the world.
Yeah, how does he have this information?
They should redo Super Mario with Donald Trump, and he's just running around hitting those question mark boxes, but they're full of unclassified documents. It'd be so cute.
To look at it.
Excuse me. The boxes from Chinatown, he
What?
didn't turn them over. He sent them up to
Chinatown.
his lawyer in Boston to look at before they handed them over.
President Trump, those boxes were takeout boxes full of lo mein.
At that. We'll see what comes out of
Well,
it. But I
you
do
can
want to
imagine-
just
you can
end with
imagine
this. I
what's
don't want to
gonna
dwell on it. But according to the indictment, you were here at Bedminster on July 21st, 2021, after you're no longer president, and you were recorded saying that you had a document
Here it is,
detailing
yeah.
a plan of attack on another country that was prepared by the U.S. military for you.
So someone secretly recorded him bragging about it, basically. Hey, I've got this document that proves like we had plans to go to war with Iran if we decided
the
to.
president, the Iran attack plan. You remember that?
Ready?
You were recorded.
It wasn't a document.
Okay.
I had lots of paper. I had copies of newspaper
Sounds like it was a
articles.
document.
I had copies of magazines.
It was
I
actually a
said-
tapestry.
Specifically a
everything.
quote. You're quoted
And-
on the
no,
recording
and-
saying the document was secret, adding that you could have declassified it while you were president, but, quote, now I can't.
So he admitted that he didn't declassify it while he was president.
You know, this is still secret, highly confidential. And the indictment cites the recording and the testimony from people in the room saying you showed it to people there.
Is Trump's
that
biggest
day.
defense in this that he lies all the time anyways, and he was just lying about that?
Apparently. It comes to a point where you work yourself into a corner.
Okay, so you say on this on tape
It says just the opposite.
that you can't
And let me just
declassify it,
tell
so
you,
why have it? is
When
what
I
the question
said
is.
when I said that I couldn't declassify it now, that's because I wasn't president. I never made any bones about that. When I'm not president, I can't declassify.
And that's
Brett.
what you said. You
I
didn't
said
declassify
that. I said no. I said I couldn't.
I could have
but that wasn't a
declassified it.
document, Brett. There was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or may not, but that was not
Those
a
were
document.
just
I didn't have any
papers that were in
document
my
per se. There was nothing
golf
to declassify. These were newspaper
bin.
stories, magazine stories, and articles.
I'm just saying what the indictment says.
Well,
the recording
these people-
and the
look,
people in the room who
these
testified.
people are very
Yeah, he
dishonest.
called it a document in the recording. And now he's saying, oh, it wasn't a document. It's like, yeah.
People, they're thugs. They're thugs. If you look at what they've done to other people, what they've done to and overturned in the U.S. Supreme Court, these are thugs.
The
These are
suggestion
dishonest
was
people.
that you wanted this as evidence that the military, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Milley, had preemptively sent you plans for a possible attack on Iran and that you didn't order that to happen. That's the
I
suggestion.
never ordered it to happen. No.
But that's
No.
why you wanted the document.
I don't think I've ever seen a document from Milley. Milley, frankly, was incompetent. The last one I'd want to attack with as my leader would be Milley. That I can tell you.
All
and
right,
I think
last
you
thing
know
on
that.
this. There are 31 documents listed. Nuclear capabilities of foreign countries, related to military capabilities of foreign countries, intelligence briefings on foreign countries. Why do you want to hold on to those documents after you're president?
I don't say I do.
You just didn't know it was in the boxes?
discussing with NARA, giving them back. All of a sudden, we've got raided, which is a violation of my, Fourth Amendment rights. They raided my home.
They got him on the
and
fourth.
they came and they took things. We were discussing this with NARA. Look at Obama. Look at Clinton. Clinton.
It's always like, well, they should be in trouble for it. It's like, well, then you should also be in trouble for it. Like, fine, figure it out. Figure it out, dude.
Took documents. Clinton took tapes in his socks.
Interviews
and you know
with
what
a
happened?
historian.
The Clinton socks case.
I do know it well.
And it basically said the president has every right to keep whatever he wants, and that includes me.
And the question is
This was
whether
not They can a keep criminal Trump? case. Let me tell
highly
you.
classified government national security documents fall in that
I
category,
can-
and that battle is going to be fought in the courts.
It's already been fought.
All right.
There's a decision strongly that you can keep. But I wouldn't have kept. But they raided my house. They came in and raided. We were discussing, having very good discussions with NARA, a radical left group, by the way. And all of a sudden, my house got raided.
Do you know if you still have any highly sensitive government documents?
No, I don't have anything, no.
No.
But what I'm concerned about,
guy.
they took everything. right? I don't know what they took. They could be stuffing it. I don't know what they put in there. And we wanted to be there when they were taking. They wouldn't let anybody in the room.
Wow.
They've never treated a president like this.
And that's fair for you to point out. I guess what this points to is this recording where you said you could have declassified it when you were president. You didn't.
No,
so
I
it's
could
still
have
classified.
when I was president, but there's no document there. Those were newspaper articles.
Okay.
They were copies of articles and magazines. There was no document
Those
there.
were the Mad
And
magazines.
I couldn't have done it after I was out.
This is what you said in 2016 about handling this.
In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information.
Isn't this great? He said all of this while he was running.
No one will be above the law. We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets.
All he was
We
doing was
can't have
protecting them.
someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified.
Vice President Mike Pence.
Oh, yeah. Now he brings up, like, all the people that work for him or worked for him that don't like him anymore.
Or classified.
Your Vice President Mike Pence says he's, quote, deeply troubled by what's in the indictment. And he says, quote, the indictment contains serious charges and I cannot defend what's alleged.
Mike Pence had documents that were classified.
And he turned them over.
What a snitch. But he turned them over when he was asked. From what I understand, this is mostly about him not giving them back when he was asked. He was given an opportunity to avoid all of this.
Yeah, I heard that there was a lot of negotiation to try and deal with this before they came and raided him.
No, he didn't turn them over. He got caught. His lawyers found some documents, and then he turned them over.
Well, that's not getting caught. Your lawyers they're not the police. They're there to make sure you don't go to jail or face some other penalty.
Yeah, if you catch yourself, is that getting caught?
Apparently.
Why did he have them? He shouldn't be saying that because he had classified documents. And immediately they said, oh, that's okay. And I suppose it's going to be okay with Biden, too, even though he has them in Chinatown, even though he has them in...
He always mentions Chinatown first. You know there's some old-ass racist people like in Nebraska being like, Chinatown? He keeps our classified documents in Chinatown? He doesn't even say which Chinatown. Like, which, does he mean New York?
Delaware?
Delaware?
Chinatown in Delaware?
I don't think there is a Chinatown in Delaware.
Delaware, and probably...
Well, I think he means Delaware is like a different place.
It's the Panda Express in Delaware.
You're not worried about this case.
Based on the law, zero. Presidential Records Act plus the Clinton case, which was won by Clinton as president because he took tapes of leaders in his socks.
He brings up the socks thing a bunch of times.
In his socks.
In his socks.
What were the tapes he took? Do we know? Or were they classified even after he took them?
Zero.
I think they were classified.
Zero. And every good lawyer has said it, and you've seen that. Every good lawyer has said that.
Obviously, there are others who push back. And
this was a weaponization of politics. This was a weaponization of the White House. This was a horrible thing. A candidate that's leading, I'm leading Biden by a lot. They go out and they weaponize.
I'm leading by a lot. That is not true. There's plenty of polls that show Biden winning. There's polls that show Trump winning. It's pretty even, honestly. Maybe Trump has like a slight edge. And then I've seen some polls where I've seen a lot of polls where Trump doesn't beat Biden, but DeSantis does, which is crazy because there's a lot of times where the primary system actually causes their party to lose because their primary picks the person that is the most popular among their own base and not the candidate that could bring in people from the middle more. So
this is a horrible
I don't
thing
know.
Well, let's talk about the politics.
It's never been done.
Let's talk about the politics. You're facing obviously a number of potential charges in other cases, and I know you've said that you believe that they're political witch hunts.
Of course.
But what do you say to the voter who really liked many of your policies.
They still do.
But they can't handle the scandals or the controversies or the name calling or the vitriol. What do you say to that voter who's worried that that all leads to a general election loss?
Witch hunt.
So, based on the polls, I'm leading Biden by a lot.
It's by a lot. What does a lot mean? Because I see like 4 points, 5 points, maybe.
Millions.
Within the margin of error, for sure.
Based on the polls, I'm leading all of the Republicans.
That is true. That is true.
40 points.
No, that's not true. It's like 25 to 30.
And more.
And more.
Right now, I have the best polls I've ever had. People see this stuff for what it is. It's a political witch hunt. It's a continuation.
More independent voters watch Fox News than any other TV source.
A lot less than used to watch it.
Those
Damn.
voters
A lot less, Brett.
they usually make
A lot
up
less,
all the
Brett.
difference in the election. And so to the female independent voter in the suburbs who struggled with family financing because of inflation, she's now against Biden, disapproves of Biden, but wasn't with you in 2020 and so far is a hard no for you in 2024. But what do you say
You're
to
not
that?
looking at the right polls.
What do you say to
You're
that
not
female
looking at the right
independent
polls.
suburban voter who feels that way, to win her back?
First of all, I won in 2020 by a lot, okay?
By a lot.
Let's get that straight. I won in 2020.
You know that
By a
this-
lot.
Look at all
That's
of the
not
tapes.
what
If
the
you look
vote
at
showed.
everything that you want to look at, you take a look at Truth to Vote, where they have people stuffing the ballot boxes on tapes. Or
Mr. President,
let's
that
go
was
to
all
recent.
looked
Well, wait a
into.
minute. Let's go to recent. FBI Twitter. Let's go to recent. The 51 agents.
FBI
Money for the
Twitter.
Sweet boys.
Yes. Also, sign up. I have the link pinned in the chat. Sign up for Patreon. We got a big show tomorrow night. Me versus Jeff Holiday. Spin till you spew. It's our game. It's our game that has to do with trivia and drinking. It's for trivia drinking supremacy. Me versus Jeff Holiday. Spin till you spew tomorrow night. Don't miss that. And then, we've got another show coming up before the end of the month, too.
What do I
Corrupt
say to the
stuff.
women who are down on the polls and not on the polls? Get on the stripper polls. It's where you belong. It's where you belong.
Understand about the
Or-
Hunter
well,
Biden,
no, but
all
that's cheating
fair
on the
things.
election.
But
That's cheating on the
you
election.
lost the 2020 election.
Brett, you take a
Did he say Bet or Brett?
Brett.
Okay.
I am the
Brett.
Democratic Party's sad and pathetic lives DOOD. The DOJ actually supports my videos. I hate stealing classified documents more than I love Ozzy Osbourne.
True. Fact.
Also, if you're the kind of person that gives us a bunch of donos every week, on Patreon, you can make your pledge as high as you want it to be. Like you could be a $5 level patron, but give us $7. If you've got like an extra $2 or whatever. I'm just trying. The Patreon needs a lot of help. I've been thinking about doing a Patreon-a-thon.
A thon?
A Patreon-a-thon where I do like a stream for the Patreon because it's a
thon?
Patreon-a-thon.
A thon?
Yes, because the Patreon needs an a-thon.
Is that like a Jonathon?
It's like a Jontron-a-thon.
Whoa.
look at all of the stuffed ballots. You take a look at all of the things, including things like the 51 intelligence agents.
There were recounts in all of the swing states.
Okay, you know what? I do have to, we'll get back into this in just a second. But yes, I have to explain spin to you, Spio. Me and Jeff are going to play each other in a trivia game. The loser at the end of each round has to spin a wheel and take a shot of whatever liquor comes up. There's wild card type things on the wheel too that can make it more interesting, like a double shot or like a reversal where like the other person ends up having to drink. And we're going to do it until someone either taps out or spews.
Vomit.
Yes.
Or if one person runs out of alcohol.
Yes.
You lose.
Yeah, that is part of
Better
it.
not run out.
Yeah.
Better be well stocked.
Better stock it up.
Quit stalking me,
So
bro.
it's tomorrow. It's only $5. Please sign up. Link in the description. Click on it. Sign up at the $5 level. It's happening tomorrow.
There was not significant widespread
We're trying
fraud.
to get recounts, real recounts, not just numbers of votes
widespread
cast.
corruption. There was not a sense of that. There were lawsuits, more than 50 of them, by your lawyers, some in front of judges that you appointed.
Look at Wisconsin.
That came out with
Wisconsin
no evidence.
Wisconsin has practically admitted it was rigged. Other
Look at
states are doing the
Wisconsin.
same right now, and it's continuing.
They've practically admitted it was rigged. Well, if they admitted it, then wouldn't they reverse the decision? Wouldn't they be like, oh, it was rigged? So
Is there a time period where they can no longer reverse it?
it's been to court already.
Oh.
Yeah, it's already been investigated and gone to court and been determined that the voting. You know what? There were some places they recounted the votes and it ended up Biden got more votes than they had originally counted.
We can't talk about that right now.
Okay.
And reviews
a
of
rigged
every
election.
potential case of voter fraud in 6 battleground
He
states.
got more votes, but like marginally when you talk about like the grand scale of voting and how many people vote. So there wasn't enough. There's been no like there are like uneligible voters that vote and people who vote for like they get a ballot in the mail for like someone who's dead and they fill it out. A lot of times that shit gets caught. I watched a news story about it locally, how people got caught doing voter fraud, but even the people they catch, it's not even close to enough to make a difference at all. So
all those stuffed ballots.
Stuffed? What does that even mean?
Well, when you stuff something like ravioli or a burrito, that means it's overfilled with the stuffing. So I assume they overfilled the ballots with ballots that were meaty and cheesy.
He uses that like that word stuff. They're stuffing. We saw them stuffing it. It's a trigger word that he uses. It's like it's something he puts out there like millions. He does that a lot too.
And they found fewer than 475 cases.
You know why? Because they didn't look at the right things.
Okay,
Brad.
are you going to be
They were counting ballots, not the authenticity of the ballot. The ballots were fake ballots. This was a very rigged election.
Are you going to go? This is how you're going to tell that independent suburban woman voter
No,
to vote for
we're
you?
off to winning an election, and I think we're winning very well. I got a poll just recently. I have it here.
No, I know, and I watched the numbers.
I've shown you every poll. I showed you. We were leading by tremendous numbers, and we're leading with women, huh?
You know polls change. I mean, they changed in 2016 to your favor.
I thought I was doing well from the beginning, but
But they changed. Yeah.
No, he said the polls were fake until they changed and said he was winning.
Which means they might have been fake because they did say he was losing.
At first, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, fake polls?
What?
Polls. What did you learn from your first term?
What Ben said, but also every one of those voter frauds has been by Trump supporters.
A lot of them.
We don't talk about that. It's Fox News. Wait, Fox News is calling out Trump now. Never mind.
You took from and changes that you would make if you get elected.
I would like to be less combative, but I find the press is extremely dishonest. And if I'm not combative, I don't get my word across.
Is that true?
I don't know. I don't think you could win. I think, regardless me or somebody else, if somebody else got the nomination, these radical left maniacs would come after them at a level like you've never seen before, and they're not going to be able to withstand it.
Radical
Our
left
country is
maniacs kind of sounds like a 1990s comic book.
Well, let me tell
show.
you something, radical left maniacs.
Oh, yeah.
We have people that will do anything, and it's a very sad thing, like the document hoax. They should have never been brought. We're in the middle of a political campaign, and they want to arrest the
document hoax. There's only photos of all the boxes of documents and recordings of him talking about documents that he had that he should have declassified when he was president, but now he can't.
We don't know how many of those boxes were filled with Trumpy bears. He says there's other stuff in there that was not just documents.
Who's leading the person
There's
that's
Tupperware.
in theory in charge of government. This stuff shouldn't happen.
So what changes would you make?
Strong people, strong government. You know, when I came down to Washington, I was in Washington 17 times in my life in D.C. And
damn,
I never stayed overnight. I was never there. I didn't know.
What does that have to do with? Oh, you never stayed overnight? Who cares?
He never had a sleepover.
I never even
Media is
slept
gonna be
there.
running wild on you, Donnie. Oh yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Leftomania is running wild on those presidential Melmac plates that he had in
I
those
didn't know
boxes.
that world, other than I was involved in politics from the other side very much. And I put great people in, but I put some people like Bill Barr and Bolton and a few of them that, actually Bolton was good because every time I negotiated, people said, oh, they've got this maniac here. He's going to go to war with us, and they'd concede every point. I mean, it was actually pretty good in a certain way. But we put people in that were great, and we put people in that weren't. I now know Washington probably better than anybody. I know the good ones and the bad ones.
I never even slept there before I became president, and then now I know it better than anybody.
It only took him 4 years. Mastered
we
Washington.
will have really great, strong people. I already know who they are, but we will have really great, strong people.
Okay. In 2016, you said that.
Yeah. So now this is the part where he hits him so hard. So because he's saying, I'll pick the best people. When I get back in office, I'll pick the best people out there, which is exactly what he said in 2016. And now he's about to give him the rundown of all the people he got in 2016 and, who he said were the best people and what they say about him now.
I'm going to surround myself with only the best and most serious people.
Well, I did do that.
This
and we
time,
had tremendous, look, we had the best economy we've ever had. The world has ever seen.
Your Vice President, Mike Pence, is running against you.
Yeah.
Your Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, she's running against you.
Damn.
Your former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said he's not supporting you. You mentioned National Security Advisor John Bolton. He's not supporting you either. You mentioned Attorney General Bill Barr, says you shouldn't be president again, calls you the consummate narcissist and troubled man. You recently called Barr a gutless pig. Your second Defense Secretary is not supporting you, called you irresponsible. This week, you and your White House called your White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, weak and ineffective.
Vince McMahon still loves me.
With a very small brain. You called your acting White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, a born loser. You called your first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, dumb as a rock. And your first Defense Secretary, James Mattis, the world's most overrated general. You called your White House Press Secretary, Kayleigh Canadian, milquetoast. And multiple times you referred to your Transportation Secretary, Elaine Chao, as Mitch McConnell's China-loving wife.
Yeah. Elaine Chao. Yeah.
His China-loving wife.
Yes. Isn't that fucked up?
Damn, Mitch McConnell did so much work during Trump's regime. He should not be talking down on Mitch McConnell's wife.
So, why did you hire all of them in the first place?
Because I hired 10 to 1 that were fantastic. We had a great economy. We had phenomenal people in charge of the economy.
You just named 24 people. There were 240 other people that were so good. The best.
Phenomenal people in the military.
There was Linda McMahon. She'll still come out like they're still cool.
I'm not a fan of Millie, and I'm not a fan of certain of the television people.
Boom,
there we go.
Pledge.
Thank you. That's the beginning of the Patreon-a-thon.
You'll come and watch with us after the show. You'll watch the Tomorrow Spin Till You Spew. You'll watch after the show Thursday. You'll watch Friday's Private Actual Mania episode. You'll just keep watching stuff with us all week for the low monthly installment of $10.
Yeah.
But I knocked out ISIS. I defeated ISIS. They said
I defeated ISIS. You picture Trump like coming in like Rambo.
It was all Trump
taking out. You know what? I saw an interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger from a couple days ago, and he said if he was eligible to run for president, he'd be running right now against Trump.
Yeah,
and he could probably beat Trump. I think he's popular and likable enough. He might even be the first Republican that could win California in a long time. Maybe. I don't know.
Did Reagan win California?
Yes. And he was governor of California. So he would be one of the only Republicans that could win California because he's won it in a gubernatorial election a couple times. So I would say that would make it possible. But he can't run. Schwarzenegger cannot run.
So far, he can't.
It's not going to happen.
They could lift that limit.
I think it's in the Constitution. It's not a limit. You can't just be like, we now lift it.
Well, when was it put in? Like
in the original Constitution.
I don't think so. No, because they weren't like the first presidents weren't born in America, right?
Yes, they were.
Were they?
Yes.
Huh, I didn't think it was in the first Constitution.
Yes. Yes, every president we've ever had was born in the United States. Their parents might have not have been, but yes, every president we've ever had born in the U.S. You could say, well, they were born in the colonial United States. Like, it wasn't officially the U.S., obviously. Like, for George Washington, he wasn't born in the U.S. when it was, because it wasn't a country yet, but it was the U.S. colonies.
Is Kenya a U.S. colony?
Kenya?
Yeah.
No.
We got Obama.
It would take 3 years, and I don't think we can do it. I did it in a period of like 4 weeks.
There's a lot of people who praise you for your policies.
Washington was born in Virginia, I believe, by the way.
Said that.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I mean, you just went through a list. But don't forget, for every one you say, I had 10 that love us. And one thing happens, I find, with me that I think didn't happen so much with other presidents. Call it glamorous time, call it whatever. But with me, the Times, the Washington Post, various people, even Fox, because, you know, I'm no great fan of Fox anymore. They fought me very hard. Well, you got to get your word out somehow, right?
Yeah. Born in the British colony of Virginia. Yes, that is true, because after they founded the nation, they were like, no one who was born in the UK can be president or from anywhere else. They have to be born here. That's like, they have to be a certain age, too. I think it's always been 35. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which
is bullshit. If you can go to war for your country, you should be able to run it. Lower the president and drinking age to 16.
To 16?
16.
Oh, my God.
Hard in 2016, very much the way they're fighting me now. Very, very hard. And I won. Then they became very nice. But I will tell you that something happens when people leave. They can like me very much. I have this woman named Alyssa Farah. She said the greatest things long after she left. He's the greatest president we've ever had. He was unbelievable. Then The View offered her a contract.
Patreon-a-thon.
Yes, Patreon-a-thon rolling along. Choo-choo.
Changed her views, and all of a sudden she can say negative things. Money gets off.
Yeah, so he's talking about one of the hosts on The View, because they always try to have like one Republican host on The View, and it's always usually like the youngest one on there too for some reason, like Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yeah, they get a young hottie and they put her in the Republican seat because even if you don't agree with her, you're going to be jealous that she's got nice features.
So she used to work for the one on there now. She used to work for Trump, and she hates his guts now. I think she even wrote a book about it.
Which one is she?
He said her name. I can't remember her name right now. She's the youngest person on The View right now.
For the people, and some people change.
But there's I will people on that list that are not taking money that decided that they're not
for the most part, they are. You know, Barr did a book. Barr was a coward.
So he's saying, like, you know, these people that used to work for me that don't like me now, they needed to profit off of me.
They're just trying to sell books.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Name people that you name. For every person you name, I can name 20 people that loved the administration. And maybe more importantly, the voters love the administration. The voters are dying to get back to it, Brett. The voters are tired of being laughed at all over the world. We're run by a fool. We're run by a man that doesn't have a clue.
I want to talk about foreign policy, but just to leave this.
I think her name's Alyssa Farah Griffin.
I don't know if I'm familiar with that person.
She worked for Trump.
You have former senior advisor Steve Cortez saying it's going to be tough for you to get the best and the brightest because of some of the name calling of people who left.
Well,
so what do you say to that?
Cortez is a nice person, but I didn't give him the job he wanted because I didn't think he was qualified. Then he went over to the Sanctimonious' camp. I didn't give him the job.
He can't help
himself. So I'd probably say the same kind of thing if I wouldn't get a job, if somebody wants a job. And a lot of the people that you mentioned
Has Trump ever wanted a job?
The only job he ever had was, working.
Remember when they had some summit and like 6 world leaders were literally laughing at Trump?
Yeah, but you remember when Trump went to North Korea and hung out with Kim Jong-un? Huh? I don't remember that woman's face.
Yeah, I had no idea who she was.
She's a regular on The View now?
She's one of the hosts on The View.
See, I should start watching The View. Or I should start taking testosterone. Where do we go? Testosterone or estrogen? Gotta go
The
one
view
way.
is estrogen.
I'm not sure which way to go.
It's like postmenopausal estrogen.
He didn't get the job. A couple of them weren't made permanent. I didn't want to make them permanent because I didn't think they were good enough. Now, during the course of that 4 years, I know the best people. Remember this. We took out ISIS. We developed Space Force. I rebuilt the military. I got the largest tax cuts in history.
What has Space Force done?
We're gonna have Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're gonna have Matt Gaetz. The White House is gonna be like January 6th through the roof.
Where's the moon base, Trump? That was one thing he said. I'm like, yeah, dude. That instead of building the wall, build the moon base. That's cool. Build a moon base.
I got the largest regulation cuts in history. I did right to try so that people don't have to die without a chance. We could use space age medical knowledge, and we have the greatest labs in the world.
We can take him to sick bay.
All of these things.
Hit him with a medical tricorder.
And much, much more. Nobody's ever seen it like that. One other thing. Russia would have never invaded Ukraine.
It's so crazy to just make baseless claims. To pretend that Russia would have acted any differently. What is he saying we would have done? Like,
I think he's saying we wouldn't have aided Ukraine, and Russia would have just taken the land.
Yes, basically.
I think that's
so.
what
The
he's
war wouldn't be
insinuating.
happening now; it would already be over.
Yeah, I think he's saying he would have never given Ukraine the money for that, and that the Ukraine getting the money from the U.S. government was a Biden thing.
It's not exactly what he's saying, though. He's just saying Russia wouldn't have never have done it. I think he's implying that Putin would listen to him and not have done it, but I don't think that's true.
China would never be talking about even the concept of going into Taiwan. Would have never happened.
China's talked about that forever.
I remember when Hillary was looking to, like, she was going to be president, there were a lot of people were talking about, if we get Hillary, we're going to go to war with Russia.
Yeah.
Russia. That was one of the talking points was.
That was.
And so when we got Biden and we started funneling into Ukraine, it felt like maybe that was part of a plan for a while to go push into Russia's conquerous ways by proxy through Ukraine and all of our money.
I was getting out of Afghanistan. We would have gotten out through dignity and strength. Instead, it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. These
Wasn't
are
a
all
great moment.
things, and people want them back.
Mr. President, stand by if you would.
Yeah, so that's the end of that. How do you think that went?
I was expecting worse from what you were saying earlier. I thought they were going to do way worse to Trump.
They've never actually...
Russia would have won because Trump had weakened NATO and wouldn't have pulled them together to stand firm the way they have.
Trump was kind of buddy-buddy with Russia. Like, he had a lot of... Wasn't there a picture with, like, him, Putin, and was it the Chinese president? And it was like Trump was like a weird third wheel in the photograph?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but Trump really kind of did put himself in with these guys that we seem to be at odds with for a long time. He was kind of closer with them. It was a strange little change in history.
George W. Bush was kind of close to Putin too.
Yeah,
way back.
Yeah, that's when Putin did the cover song of Blueberry Hill.
Yep.
And you looked in the audience and there was a lot of like liberal Hollywood people in the audience.
Do you remember how do you remember the story where Putin stole a Super Bowl ring from the coach of I think the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah.
He asked to see it and then just disappeared with it.
You know how many times this happened to me at parties where someone's like, "Hey, can I see your Walkman?" And they run off with my Walkman. That's fucked up, dude. Give me back my Walkman, Putin.
More news for you now. Former President Donald Trump is talking in a new interview after his federal indictment in the Mar-a-Lago classified records investigation. During the interview, Donald Trump is challenging the audio evidence the prosecutor.
Is this
a key portion of the nation's
Hunter?
most secretive?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I want to show. So Piers Morgan, who's not in good shape himself.
What is he doing?
He's declaring war against the FATS.
What?
Piers Morgan.
What?
Piers Morgan's declaring war against the FATS.
Scumbag Piers Morgan?
He's not in very good shape himself.
Oh, I don't want to hear this, Ben. Don't get me started, Ben.
Welcome back. Damning figures today revealed that obesity costs British taxpayers almost £14 billion a year. Obese
Good.
patients.
Why are you making him pay so many taxes, Billy?
God, for one, I'm not British.
Why are you making him pay so many taxes?
So it's not me. But I'm going to stand up for my chunky Tubbersons from the British Isle. It's time. The war on fats, I will be your general.
British Health Service twice as much as those of a healthy weight. But the body positivity movement preaches that fat is now fabulous, and that its craze is fatfluencers who rake in cash by boasting about, well, being fat.
Do they still smoke over there? How's smoking do for the health industry?
I'm sure some people still smoke over there. Smoking has gone down just, quite a bit.
I got to see the numbers. I'm not going to let him target the fats without targeting everything unhealthy. If you want to have a Third Reich style diet plan, we're going to have it all across the board on all health. Piers Morgan, you can't even sit there with a double chin looking like fucking Bobby Hill from King of the Hill with your little beady eyes and your punk ass bitch made haircut. I'm going to cut you, Piers Morgan. I'm going to cut you a piece of cake. Feed it to you. Get fat.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you, bitches. I'm going to start my morning off with a Starbucks iced coffee.
This is an American woman.
Yeah.
Why are you using an American woman?
Oh, he uses a British guy too.
Okay. Snack of about 4 mouthfuls of cake. Not as nice as I thought it would be.
It's interesting though, because they bring on this British TikTok guy, and he is obese, but he's got a hot wife that comes on the show with him that I noticed.
The brand of cake is called Cake Hole.
Yeah.
And then I had a few mouthfuls of this cake, but it wasn't as...
What I eat in a day. A smaller woman.
I don't know what this song is, so I'm like...
This is Reba Snackentire.
Snackentire.
Really?
Really?
People are watching.
Fat woman?
Apparently.
Really?
Well, TikTokers like my next guest are putting the pounds
This dude.
in excess pounds.
The new hot 30i.
He gets endorsement deals.
Yeah, he just holds the stuff under his tits.
It's just $89.99. Do you like sweets?
Yes.
Or you can get 2 kilos of sweets for
He has like a good-looking wife that comes on the show with him.
Of course.
£10.
Promoting obesity.
She helps make his videos with him.
$25.99 for 63 rolls of toilet
Why are they
paper,
not under your
a
tits,
donut
Chubb?
maker from Tower. All of these products have 2-year warranty.
Oh,
a
shit.
candy floss maker and a chocolate fountain.
The one thing I love about fat guys is they're so fat.
So I'm joined by TikTok star George Keyword, who you just saw there, and Sienna.
Bargains.
Huh?
That's what I say, bargains.
Bargains, all right. And his wife, Sienna, and the host of the Blair White Project, Blair.
And then Blair White shows up for some reason.
What?
Yeah.
Blair White?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
listen,
molding.
Blair, I'll come to you in a moment. First of all,
Oh,
right.
man, yeah, she's going to hate on the fats, too. Blair White's about to hate on the fats.
George, let me get some stats.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how much do you weigh?
She's mad because fat people can't see their dick.
I'm not going to talk about numbers because the thing is, when you...
Well, I think you should. I mean,
No. The thing is, if I give you the number of how much I weigh, it's going to be all over the Sun, all those trashy newspapers tomorrow morning. I don't need it. Don't need it.
Well, you don't need it. You're on TikTok every
but the
day
thing
showing
is-
us how big you are.
Yeah, and look,
And you're proud of it.
No. There's a difference. There's proud, and then there's just being positive in my own skin, and that's what I am.
Right.
I'm not proud to be fat.
I'm proud to be fat. I swear to God, as fat as I am, as much as I've done in this world being this fat, I'm fucking proud. If some of you thins could have pulled off what I did at this size, you'd be proud too. But you thins don't know what it's like to live life in hard mode, wearing a fucking flesh prison at all times.
Would you accept that by medical definition, you are morbidly obese?
Look, if that's what medically you want to call it, then call it.
Well, no,
It's fine.
you
It's
know
fine.
your weight, I don't.
No. But that's, yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Right, so here's
You could
my
say
issue
that.
with this body positivity thing. people shouldn't be celebrating being morbidly obese, in my estimation.
That's
because actually it is a dangerous condition that causes many people to die.
Look, you've got a fair point. It is dangerous. It can lead to dangerous issues, which could, diabetes and so on. And that is an issue. But we don't encourage gaining weight. There's a difference between the videos you just showed on the screen and what we're
George,
talking about now.
You're doing this, these TikToks are all geared to you.
No. You're showing people encouraging eating food. I'm just saying, wow, look at the pizza. Look, it's from Costco. It's not.
Yeah.
It was Costco pizza.
He's Costco pizza. He's fucking his car. Let the man live. He's not telling you should fuck your car and eat an entire pizza.
No, you're not. You're not. You are. Sorry, George.
No. I want all fat people to look like they're miserable. They all need to be miserable. If you're happy and eating pizza and fucking a car, it pisses me off.
Scoffing.
It's called taking the piss. That's what it is.
Well, maybe.
That's what it is.
Taking the piss.
Yeah, just taking the piss out of something.
It's having a laugh and not taking yourself too seriously.
Why is it funny?
Because it is funny. You know it is funny.
It's
you had a
not
little
funny.
smirk yourself before.
I actually don't find this kind of
It's not funny. I don't find it funny.
I think
come on.
I actually think it's quite sad.
It's not sad. It's comedy.
Let me bring him.
Is it sad that my big fat bollocks ball out my hot wife every day while I eat pizza and fuck a car? Is that sad, Piers Morgan?
I'd like to see Piers Morgan take his shirt off, see what he looks like.
Let me see that fucking belly of yours,
Yeah.
Pierce. I guarantee you need a fucking tummy tuck chunk.
Well, maybe.
You know it is. You know it is. You know it is, Piers. I've been an actor for 13 years.
George,
George. Damn right I know how this industry works.
George, I'll come back to you in a moment.
Come on.
George, let me go to Blair White. We need a break because you're way too happy.
Right.
We need to go talk to Blair White.
Austin in Texas. Blair, I do have a problem with this because I think it's celebrating a dangerous health condition. And if you're an influencer, why would you want to influence people to think that that is A, funny, entertaining, and B, something they want to do?
Well, you should have an issue with it. My opinion is that the fat positivity movement is a death cult. I'm all about living my life on my own terms, being happy, finding a partner that makes me happy. But, life is short, so you have to find happiness. But what cuts it in half is being obese. Your life will literally end halfway of the length that you would live.
Halfway. Yeah, but think about this. If you eat 10 times the food a normal person eats, then you have 5 times the life if you base it on food consumption alone.
Obese. And so promoting it, you wouldn't be able to be anorexic on TikTok and not get comments about how you need to eat a cheeseburger, how you need to gain weight.
Oh, so this is about being able to comment on people you don't like.
Stay in your lane, Blair.
You just want to be able to tell people you don't like, you think they're icky.
Write it off as trolls, but it's the truth. I've seen some TikToks made by him where he is addressing people telling him that he needs to lose weight as trolls and sort of making fun of it. And I just wonder, is it really trolls? Certainly there are mean people on the internet, but there is some truth to it.
There is some truth that he needs to lose weight. Well, then they need to become his doctor, and he needs to pay them for that information. Otherwise, their opinion is not a fucking a gift to him. Having some random person say you need to lose weight does not empower them in any way. Let the motherfucker say it. Sure, whatever. And he calls them trolls because they're not his fucking doctor. What else are they? What the fuck else are they going to be?
They're concerned citizens.
Yeah, and they can suck this concerned dick.
likelihood, in all certainty, actually not live past 50, 60 years old is an issue. So for me, you know, okay.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I know, that's my view. I want to bring in Sienna, your wife. You've been listening to this.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable completely? When you see the statistics about obesity in this country, the cost to the NHS, what it costs the country, are you comfortable about this?
The way I see it is, firstly, just us personally, we have private healthcare, so the NHS isn't a thing for us. I do understand that it is costing the NHS a lot. I think it's a bigger problem to address, though. I think it's about educating people when they're young to make healthy food choices. I think a lot of the time when you grow up in poverty, like George and I have, a lot of the time you don't have the healthiest options.
Yeah, but my response to that would be, okay, but you've managed not to end up as George has weight-wise. And I don't mean to denigrate you, George. I'm just saying...
Yeah, but she's still got a little bit of a potato bod. She ain't fucking Chunk City over here, but she's not some thinny mini either. Blair White packing more meat in the crotch, but Blair's way thinner than this woman.
It's not. What it is.
I don't think it's genetics. Is it?
I believe it's because my parents were like cool hippie vegetarians, whereas George's were not.
But are you comfortable? You've got a son, right? Are you comfortable about his current weight? Do you think when he does this stuff on TikTok,
They got a fat
are you
baby.
really laughing, or are you concerned about him?
I'm concerned not so much about his weight, but more about his well-being, and
Well, the two go hand in hand.
Sienna, you definitely glorify it, Sienna, and you guys post videos where you're juggling his fat and you talk about how attractive it is. And for me, when I
He's a pudgy baby. Juggle his fat.
We all knows what gets
When I see a baby, I want to mock it. I want to mock the baby. I don't want to make it happy. I don't want to make it feel comfortable in its own skin. I would like it to take its skin, cut a lot of it off, maybe add some tits, nice long hair. That's where I want the baby to go, not fat.
Version of myself.
Well, yeah,
not
but
a worse
George,
one.
the point Blair's making is a sound one. You say it's to get views. We know that, and you're making money from it. Of course. But
It looked like she was thinner in that video.
The wife?
The one that they just showed.
It was a younger video. She had blonde hair, right?
Yeah.
George, the point
He
Blair's
might be
making
thinner
is
in
a
that
sound
video
one.
too.
You say it's to get views. We know that, and you're making money from it. Of course. But the question is,
The money added some pounds.
incentive for you to actually lose any weight, because at that stage,
actually-
your TikTok persona dies.
is actually George is actually on a weight loss journey, and I fully support that. I think it's more like having a laugh at yourself, making the best of.
You know what
the
made me? You
situation
know what
you're in.
pulled me around to your side, George? If you now flipped with this big audience you've got, and rather
Yeah.
than gorging yourself every day on pizzas and donuts,
But that's not what I do,
but people laughing at you.
But that's
Why
not what
don't
I
you
do.
actually go on a fitness
Pizzas and donuts
regime and show people
Piers,
how to lose weight?
If people actually knew what I was thinking and what I'm doing, I'm actually going to be doing it as Zemic needles privately as well before you start.
Oh, Zemic.
So all of these things, we're paying out of our own money. We don't cost anyone anything. Me
How much are
being
you
this-
making out of the TikTok?
A lot of money.
Like what?
A lot of money, over 100 grand.
A year?
Over 100 grand a year.
So there's no incentive to lose weight, is there?
No, but
there's a lot
it
of
doesn't
weight
derive
loss
straight from that.
journeys
That's
on
from my
TikTok as
sales,
well.
and that's with the collaborations and the deals.
You
I
don't
have
even
outside
wanna
of
I
it.
gotta start hanging shit under my tits. Get me some fucking fat boy money.
How much you weigh?
I don't
If anybody's
think so.
watching right now has a product they want me to hang under my tits, hit me up at Billy the Fridge. I'll hang some of your stuff under my tits.
Are you ashamed of it?
Oh, I'm not
I don't
ashamed.
really
Then why don't you
understand
tell
how
me?
you can
Why
join
should I
a
feel ashamed?
panel about
When you put a number and you put a
obesity
label on
and
it,
about
it's
weight and
Okay,
not
Blair,
disclose
final
your
word
weight.
to you.
I just don't know why he would come on a panel discussing weight and body positivity, fat positivity, and not
Okay.
actually revealing the
I agree.
his number of
Blair,
his weight.
guys, I'm sorry, I run out of time. Thank you, all of you, very much indeed.
Yeah, I'll hang a copy of Isom under my tits for some money.
A copy of Isom.
Under my tits for some money. I'll get a copy of Isom number 1 under my left tit and Isom number 2 under my right tit. There you go.
Check this out.
I'll hang dildos under my tits. I got it all.
I'm so excited to be here with you today.
I found this amusing.
Did Disney buy the Joe Rogan podcast?
I don't. This is their 2000th episode, I guess, and they started it in fursuits, which was surprising.
This is our first podcast coming out as our true selves.
We're furries!
Yeah, we've been holding it in forever.
This is my true identity. And you know what? It just eats me alive to not tell how we met at a furry con.
Well, we didn't know that we met there. Remember?
Well, yeah, I didn't know who you were for a long time.
Yeah, we didn't know. I'm like, oh my God, you're Meow Meow?
Dude, it blew my mind. I mean, to me, that is proof we're in a simulation. Because what are the odds?
They're not good.
What are the odds, man?
The
that I
odds
would
are
be-
also not good that I'm going to keep this fucking helmet on. Oh my God, I'm sweating.
Yeah, it does not last long. They get tired of wearing the heads of
Yeah.
the fursuit.
They're not real furs.
No.
Good for me. I'm not keeping this on.
A real
dude.
fur would be able to wear this for days, let alone minutes.
Barely breathe.
How do they do it?
I don't know. They fuck with these things on.
How do you fuck with this on?
You got a yip hole.
Those
Total
people are
respect.
heroes.
You got to pull your meat out through the if hole.
Total respect for furries now.
Respect for the furry community. Look, I got
Holy,
the
it's
feet
like-
on and everything.
It's like Bikram fucking.
Yeah. It's very hot in here. If you can fuck with this on, you're an American hero.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Proud to be American, or at least I know I'm free.
David Goggins needs to put on one of these things and
Yeah.
fuck for an hour.
He should. Yeah, you think
He has the perfect cat voice, by the way. Like, he picked the right fursona. Because he has, like, a weird cartoon cat voice.
Do you think
know
they
what I mean?
borrowed these suits, or do you think they had them
They
made
probably
just for the
bought 'em.
episode?
They have money, so they could probably just buy one. They are thousands of dollars to have them made, but
you're so cool running for
Chump
1,000
change.
miles?
I got to get my Junk Fu Panda fursuit made.
How about fuck for 4.5 minutes with this on?
I can't fuck for 4.5 minutes without it on, but
This is like sprinting uphill.
this is really brutal. And just thinking about padding around a Ramada in one of these things.
That's
I
true.
get it.
That's what a furry convention is like. It's just like a hotel, stuff goes on in the exhibit halls all day, but then like crazy shit goes on in all the hotel rooms.
Yeah,
What do you
there's
mean?
got to be some crazy methods to clean jism off of fur.
I get it when I put it
Or if they have to be dry cleaned, you probably can't put that in a washer.
Well, they probably have some sort of method on site to get the ukamu out.
on. I get it. I know why they do it. I don't know why all of them do it.
Wait, why?
I really
Why
have
do
a
you
hard
think
time
they do
breathing.
it?
I think they do it because it offers you an anonymity that is impossible any other way.
Right.
And it turns you into your image, the visual that people get of you is this adorable, cute mascot.
Do you think that's why too? Do you think Joe Rogan's on the ball here?
Probably not for every one of them, but yeah, a lot of them I think that's true.
Next time we have someone who's a fur around, we
I've
gotta
heard
ask them.
furries that I know say something similar.
It's all about the anonymity.
I've been to 2 furry conventions and I'm not a furry.
Do you think if Limp Bizkit made the song, it's all about the he said, she said bullshit, today they would add more pronouns into it?
Yes. He, she, they, them.
It's all about the he, she, they, them bullshit.
Loves a mascot. The mascot is literally there to pump everybody up and yay, and they don't talk and everybody loves them.
Yeah,
And
right.
the people at Disneyland, same thing.
Wait, they don't talk?
No, they don't talk. Like
Yeah,
if you meet Goofy,
They don't
Goofy
talk
doesn't
at
say
Disney,
jack
right?
shit to you.
I went to Goofy's restaurant. He didn't talk. He was very emotive without talking.
And Goofy talks a lot in the cartoons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yo. He sounds like a dumbass.
We went to Goofy's kitchen. Goofy doesn't talk.
See?
Yeah, it's like
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Oh, that's when they give
Oh my
up.
God.
Yeah, when I first saw that this existed, I thought it was AI. I thought someone made a Joe Rogan in a fursuit AI video, but then I saw it was on Joe Rogan's actual clip channel. So I was like, oh, this is real.
Oh, it's so hard to breathe.
Are there any mascots wearing ascots?
Horrible. How about those fucking people that work at Disneyland that wear these things and they
Jesus
walk around in the
Christ.
heat in the summer? Respect to them.
No,
Yeah, I
not
always
respect. Not respect. Those motherfucking people are suffering.
Yeah, could you imagine in Florida with all the humidity?
Yeah.
In a fursuit
They
like
get
that?
crotch
you'd be
rot.
Yes.
They actually get crotch rot.
Yeah,
It's miserable.
Humidity when it's like 90 to 100 degrees is so terrible.
It's all about the he said, she said, they, them bullshit.
At least, Anaheim has like a drier climate. It's probably not so bad there. It's probably still bad.
It's pretty bad, but it's probably less bad. And I think the suits have gotten more advanced over the years too.
If they have ways of like electronically cooling them or something.
Yeah.
Then you have to carry around a battery or
But
something.
it's like everybody who moves to Los Angeles to be an actor or an actress, they either get a job as a barista or as a fucking Mickey the Mouse.
Mickey the Mouse.
A Mickey the Mouse.
Mickey the Mouse?
Yeah. Those are their options. They become a barista or a Mickey the Mouse.
Just a reminder to everyone, tonight we're starting the Patreon-a-thon. If you want to sign up for our Patreon, we're doing a private show tomorrow. Spin Till You Spew comes back. The ultimate test of trivia and drinking has returned. Me versus Jeff Holiday. We're going to go head-to-head in a crazy game where someone either has to tap out or vomit or run out of alcohol. You can't continue if you run out of alcohol. It's kind of like tapping out. So sign up, Patreon, $5 or more. But you probably want to do the $10 level because we're doing a lot more content at the $10 level. And tonight we're doing our post show. We're going to continue to review ISOM, Eric July's comic, ISOM.
We're going to put up $1 million level. And if you decide to subscribe at the $1 million level, Ben and I will quit the show forever and retire in Tahiti.
Tahiti?
So that'll be there soon.
Let's check out. This is that Eric July guy that's always defending Eric July, talking about you, but because they clipped you last time, just you by yourself, doing one of your tirades. You know,
I was just speaking like a fucking top G.
This right here, if I can find it now. This right here, which I was informed that I was talked about on their 5-hour live stream, and this is where it started. I think
I can't believe we talked about this guy for 5 hours.
We didn't. Maybe like 20 minutes. Who knows?
Here, right? Because I talk about these weird dudes, these two dudes here, and I call them fat, and I tell them how much they're.
Did he call us fat?
I'm not sure if I caught that.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
On a cross above a fictional
Is this Piers
character's
Morgan?
penis. And they get really mad about that for some reason.
We're not mad about the cross above the penis. We think it's hilarious.
Yeah, we were making jokes about it.
We think it's bad.
I don't think these guys understand humor or any form of entertainment. And it's cool, too. Like, they complain about us talking about their product, but when the manager of Eric July was complaining about Kevin Smith for liking The Flash. Kevin Smith said some good things about the Flash movie, and the manager was like, you're such a shell. You fucking dweebs complain about everything else. Literally how Comics Gate started. It was all built on the back of complaining, but when someone complains about your shit, you get your little wussies hurt.
You're mad about it.
Your little wussies get hurt.
They get very mad about it that they had to spend. They spent.
Telling someone that they're mad about something isn't an argument. It doesn't prove anything. It's just, something that dumbasses on the internet do to invalidate other people's opinions. It's like, oh yeah, okay, you're mad.
And getting angry is my kink anyways.
Yeah.
So every time I get mad, I also get a raging erection.
You guys are so bad. Do I look mad?
One of these tweets on the Rip-A-Verse goalposts, they were, I don't know, it might have been in response to this, but I responded and said that I was going to dress up in drag and read their children ISOM comic books at the public library.
You said that?
Yeah. And then they retweeted it like, this is this type of sicko that hates ISOM. And I'm like, yeah, I will dress up in drag and read ISOM at the public library.
About 40 minutes of this live stream talking about my video.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, they decide to expose themselves for who they are, about what they think about Christians, of course.
Of course.
That's exactly what they decide to do in this clip.
No.
Oh, no.
I don't think that way about Christians.
This is getting into inside level layering. How many live streams within live streams are there going to be?
A million.
Stay tuned.
A million. I don't even think this way about Christians. I think this way about ISOM fans that are buying into it because of their fucking Christian patronage. You're being pandered to, and you're eating it up as Christians tend to do.
So thank you, Rip-A-Verse goalpost of points.
I don't think my fucking Christian grandmama is ever going to buy a copy of ISOM. So why would I ever talk about...
I can promise both of you Eric July and this dipshit. They're not in shape.
What?
I'm in normal shape for Muay Thai. I got fatty parts to me. I could bitch slap this pussy and would lose his breath from the sheer surprise that it happened.
Should
he
we
has
do
no balls?
Should we do Muay Thai on him?
That we're going to listen to and make fun of.
Be stupid. Whether or not they're trying to better themselves, they shouldn't be allowed an opinion on the creation of art, especially if they're the type of people that will spend money to support something void of art.
Yeah,
totally void of art. Not made and not, drawn and inked and colored.
He's really bad at normalizing his audio because the video of you that he's playing is like way louder than his mic. It's not very good.
I wouldn't expect him to be able to. He can barely talk himself with or without the fucking audio levels right.
Colored by some major veterans in the comic industry. But because it's Eric July that has the comic, right? It's Eric July that's writing the comic. It's devoid of art, and no one should be able to criticize or critique.
We're talking about the writing, not the actual artwork.
Yeah.
We've been talking about the writing and how the writing
Even the
is
actual artwork, like it's not profound. It's just industry standard.
They've gotten some.
I feel like homie is an Amish guy with a secret streaming room on his farm.
He's just
That's
a
sitting
fucking
above the cows right now.
He's a dumber than dog shit incel. He sits around simping for Nina Infertile. He wants to be. You guys could never get a girl like Nina Infertile. She's fantastic.
Infertile.
She watches Gungam Juju style, whatever the fucking anime
what was
is.
it? Yeah, what did
it's the
Gungam Juju
I don't know what one he was talking about. The Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, I think
she likes
so.
Full Metal Alchemist. You could never get a woman like that. It's like, okay, dude, I support all of the Comicsgate comic books, not just Eric July. I like them all. Okay, dude.
He sounds kind of mad.
Cowboy Bebop. Maybe that was the one. I
This
don't
guy
fucking
can
know.
hear me. Get in a ring and let's see how in shape you think you're in.
Boom,
And let's
boom.
see how much of Andrew Tate's advise you really. Puto.
Yeah, I'm more of an Andrew Tate than this Andrew Tate is. I'm the top G. You're the mid G.
Talk about it or have any
You're the
opinion on
lowercase
it.
G.
Well, we're letting you have your opinions on it, right? No one's silencing you and making sure you can't have an opinion on it. But at the same time, most likely you didn't read it. You didn't read
On page 23, dude. Can't read it all at once. I don't have that fucking much of a constitution to stomach such poor writing. Actually, we're just trying to stretch it out.
Right.
What's the point of finishing the book? We know that it's going to end shit.
more than likely you didn't read ISOM 1.
Don't care either way, though. I don't have to.
We are in the process of reading it,
But even
it's just more of him assuming shit. Like it just makes you look dumber, man.
Even that though, like, doesn't matter because I'm not actually critiquing the comic book on any real level. I'm talking shit about it because Eric July said he wouldn't have a conversation with a fat. It was his stupid fucking comeback to getting bopped by Dick Masterson and Vito. I'm not gonna argue no more with fat people. If you want to argue, you gotta be fit. Okay, haha, we get it. I only responded to that because it was so fucking stupid. I don't care if the comic book's bad. I'm happy he's making millions of dollars to create it. Good for him.
Yeah.
I love that everybody in the Comicsgate circle is low-key jealous and having to suck Rip-a-verse dick because they're not getting the same level of fucking support he is. I love that. I love to see Ethan Van Sciver seethe every time another fucking huge supporter comes into the Rip-a-verse. I like that.
The Rip-a-verse.
The Rip-a-verse.
It's such a dumb name. The problem isn't with them trying to better themselves. It's them defending this piece of shit comic book.
So again, that's your opinion?
Yeah. He sounds mad. Does he not sound mad?
Again, that's not a fact. That's an opinion. If you want to say it, you can say it, but that's not it's a fact. It's not a fact, okay? Okay?
That's an opinion, bud. Do you not know what an opinion is? Do I have to help you with the definition of an opinion?
I don't know why you're bringing up an opinion right now. Did you state that as a stone cold fact?
No.
Man? Was that an infallible fact?
No.
And what the fuck is this goalpost motherfucker talking about?
They're not true. Opinions are something you can have about something, whether it be.
Well, thank you, Webster's Dictionary. Jesus Christ. I expect this guy to be a fan of ISOM. Good for him. He found something as milquetoast and losery as he is.
Well, he doesn't like too many words in his comics. He likes several boxes without any dialogue at all. Just bland action.
He likes a superhero that goes back on his oath to quit because of his sister's neighbor's church-going niece. That's real ethics.
A video game, a TV show. You're allowed to express your thoughts about something.
Did he say Gideo game?
A Gideo game.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, a Gideo game is like a video game, except you jerk off to it.
Hold on.
Opinions are something you can have about something, whether it be a movie, a Gideo game, a
Gideo game.
He said Gideo game.
It's the Get Along Gang Gideo game.
Oh my God. Oh.
TV show. You're allowed to express your thoughts about something and not be necessarily true.
Gideo killed the Gadio star.
You guys are smooth brain. You really don't understand actual fucking depth of storytelling. You just want to support somebody who says, the woke is bad. Okay, cool. I'm going to send all my money to you.
No, they want to defend somebody and give money to someone who doesn't, for the most part, disrespect them as a fan, and then gives them good product at the same time.
But what is it?
Is that it?
But why is it that you feel disrespected? It's because the mainstream comics that you were a big fan of inject woke shit into all their stuff, and you're tired of that.
Oops.
So it's exactly what you just said.
Oops.
It's like, we're going to give you a good product, and we're not.
And what makes it better than the other product? Spell it out for us really quick.
Well,
don't be vague about it.
Well, they said they would not turn the characters into another race. That's good.
You sound just like them.
They said they would not do the sort of heavy politic that would piss me off.
Ooh.
That's good.
Sign me up.
They said they'd not turn it into a Gideo game.
A Gideo game.
They might turn it to a Gideo game.
Respect you in any way. We're not going to tell you you're a terrible person for supporting it. And then we're going to take the money and reinvest it back.
No. I'm not saying you're a terrible person for supporting it. I'm saying you're a terrible person. Support what you want.
Into the business and give you more good product. More of what you want.
Yes!
Patreon.
A thorn. It's the Patreon a thorn.
It's called listening to your customer, listening to your fan, listening to your reader.
Pandering,
which is something the mainstream comic industry does not do.
Oh, yeah?
Which is what Eric July is providing.
We're so happy to have Comicsgate to promise us they will never
brainlets like you.
make a woman be the
because you dislike Black Little Mermaid too. Let's go.
Yes, I dislike my characters being tokenized. Plain and simple. And right now, Little Mermaid is looking to be a flop. I can't tell you that for sure. I'm not a box office number expert.
Not a flop, dude.
But
not a flop.
Based on numbers, based on production budget, based on marketing numbers, it's looking to be a flop.
No, based on you wanting it to be a flop, you're trying to turn these numbers into a flop. It's doing just fine.
You're an ist, you're a phobe, you're this, you're that. People are tired of it.
If they were tired of it, it wouldn't have made over $400 million in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, do something better. What, you can't do something better?
Well, they're clearly doing something better since they're making more money than.
I don't even give a shit. Like, The Little Mermaid looks bad to me, but just because I just don't like that kind of shit. I didn't really. What a surprise! You see everything, but I didn't really like the Disney animated movies either. I was never into that shit. To me, like, that shit was not something I was into. So I wouldn't see the live action version either. I don't know.
There was nothing about The Little Mermaid that impressed me. I like David Diggs, who played the crab dude. Was it the crab? Yeah, the crab dude.
That crab looked really weird. Like, it looked
I like
off.
David Diggs.
The crab, from what I saw, looked really weird. It was not a good CGI
I
rendering.
prefer the old Under the Sea. I think a lot of the CGI was really poor in this Little Mermaid movie. A lot of the underwater stuff just did not hit for me.
Marvel graphic novels.
Sebastian,
They're making
yeah.
characters that don't have to be rebooted 6, 7, 8, 9 times like Captain Marvel or Kamala Khan.
Oh, what? You mean multiple different characters?
In for $45, might as well.
Yeah, that's the thing that they never understand is that there are multiple characters in Marvel and DC that have had different personas, you know?
Yeah.
Different characters.
This is a great case of a fan who's mad defending 100-page issue of a comic book that has an eighth of a
Just
fucking
like
story
Jared's
in it.
voice makes my throat wanna close. This guy's voice nasally honk makes
Honk,
my
honk.
sinuses twinge. Have my money since he
Yes,
sucked.
please give us
Hold on, though.
your money.
Did you say he's mad? I thought we were the ones that were mad.
I don't know anymore.
Send another
Or discount Mr. Fantastic.
$45 for issue 2. Maybe.
The comic book is $35. I'm sorry that you're a brokey. Why do you sound like that?
Do you think the reason we didn't buy it is because we're broke?
That's actually why I didn't buy it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, I could buy Magic the Gathering cards or ISOM 2, and I couldn't do both, so I chose Magic the Gathering cards.
damn.
Because, if you guys don't know this, Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering set came out this week, and they race swapped Aragorn. Had to get me that black Aragorn.
Let's get the sweet boys to at least 20% tonight.
Yeah. Also, sign up for Patreon. We need the Patreon. Make the Patreon be the Patreon.
Why do you sound like that? And besides that, it's not $45. It's $35.
It'll get better.
Nope.
What? I'm $4,000 into this ISOM fucking Indiegogo? And
Again, it's not an Indiegogo. It's
We get it, Tism. Keep correcting things we don't care about. You're really good at it.
personal pre-order. The books are already done. Typically, people who use Indiegogo or Kickstarter are typically getting their stuff funded.
Yeah, okay, we got it, Papa.
Whereas
Nobody
Eric
cares.
July already has the product.
Whereas, actually, this is comic book guy.
Sign up for Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon.
Patrice O'Neillorn.
Campaign for people who are interested in purchasing a
Link
product that's
in the chat.
already finished. Not for stuff that's a work in progress.
the story's still not better? Well, at least they're not going to race swap ISOM.
That was funny.
At least they're not going to preach down to me like current Marvel and DC.
And this is
You
the
don't
thing-
know that. It's one fucking book out, you fucking weirdo. It was a book that barely fleshed itself out in any way. It was the softest first step ever taken. It was like putting your toes over the edge of the fucking pool when you should have dived in dick first. We're not commenting on his dick. We're commenting on the fact that he took a fucking...
I know this nigga is broke now. Brokey. Just say you can think for yourself and need a man to teach how to walk and hold your hand like a little lost girl in an amusement
That's
park.
what I love most about these guys.
Yeah, he's so simp.
Not just this guy, not just the Eric July fans, but the Red Pill people, the Top G followers, all these guys that are following another man's footstep like that was their fucking daddy.
Well, it's almost like in a way he wants to take credit for it. Like he'll show it as if he's the one who accomplished making all that money.
Well, they're all living through their avatar, Eric July.
That's what I'm saying.
These are all
they're not their own people at all.
They have no drive to be their own people.
No.
There's a reason that we have so many fans in this world. They are followers. They're not leaders. They look towards they no longer have to look towards a leader to survive. So they look towards a leader to just take their mind off the fact that they're simping for Nina Infertile.
Do we have to pull up the video?
They're
where you're
mad that
literally-
they're mad that their options right now are e-girls, simping for e-girls, or rebelling against women and joining the fucking woke anti-woke mob.
commenting on the fact that there's a cross above his dick. You mentioned his dick specifically with the cross over it.
Yeah, because it's funny that he put a cross that close to the superhero's dick to pander to Christians.
It is funny.
Like imagine this. Imagine he could have put the cross on
his chest.
Could have put the cross on his chest. Why didn't he? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's better now by that dick.
Christian symbol and plastered it right above the superhero's dick to pander to the Christians that don't question when writing is poor. Based on the success of the Bible, we know they don't question poor writing.
You laughed. You thought it was funny. We saw you laugh. We saw you laugh right there.
Terrible thing.
Terrible thing? That's your commentary on that? You laughed.
terrible.
How can? Are you going to explain why you're smiling right now?
Instead of woke race swapping their characters, they anti-woke gender swap their simping. It all comes full circle.
You know what? I would much rather have a fucking black female Batman that was interesting than Isom.
I want to go through this again because he clearly laughed and he's like, terrible thing. Like
terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
Why would you say such a thing about the Bible?
While he's like laughing about it.
Why would you say so? Why would you say that about the Bible?
Does he kind of talk like a toddler?
Why would you say that about the Bible?
Mommy, can I play video games?
That's terrible.
Can I please play some video games?
Why would you say that about the Bible and my video games? Why would you say that about the Bible? It's terrible.
Right above the superhero's dick to pander to the Christians that don't question when writing is poor. Based on the success of the Bible, we know they don't question poor writing.
Yep. Yep. He liked it.
Ah, damn it.
That was a
Good
terrible
Lord.
thing.
I came in high and was just listening to the last episode. To hear Billy saying the same thing to Billy already saying something I just heard. Thought I had time travel powers for a second.
Inception.
Time is a circle.
Video games.
So now you're saying Christians are stupid. So you're basically saying all Christians are dumb.
Is that what he said?
If I said that, right? I would stand by it. You know what? I'm going to say it right now. All Christians are dumb. I'm going to also say this. All atheists are dumb. All Muslims are dumb. All Jewish people are dumb. What other religions are there? Because I don't really pay attention.
There's Hindus.
All Hindus are dumb. They're all dumb.
Sikhs
are dumb. Every religion, non-religion. Okay. All thin people are dumb. All fat people are dumb. All people are dumb. Okay. All people are dumb. Now that I said that,
some people are dumber than others.
some of you can prove me wrong. But until one of yous do, I'm gonna lump you with everybody else because the majority of you are stupid.
That's exactly what you're saying here. Which is the problem that people have with mainstream comics. You continuously tell your audience that they're dumb.
So if I use the term Band-Aid to explain that somebody had to bandage their fucking cut,
No, he didn't use Band-Aid brand.
It's to speak to the greater fucking audience and not the ball.
The worst thing about this Rippaverse goalpost is they cut out a lot of the context of what I was saying.
Imagine that.
But then when you listen to what I was saying, it just kind of makes me sound like a badass. Everything I'm saying here, like there's tons of people like, wait a second, he ain't wrong though.
Fan that wants to hold everybody accountable for not knowing 100% every detail of Eric July's crusty fucking beard.
So again,
he wants to touch beards with Eric July.
He does. He wants to Velcro tap kisses. Little Velcro tap kisses.
talking a bunch of noise, saying a bunch of dribble, not knowing what you're talking about.
Could you dribble with that beard? Wouldn't it get all mucky? Wouldn't it
I
get
think he said
yucky and
drivel.
mucky? Oh.
Yeah.
So, what are you getting at here? I don't hear anything of substance for me to actually.
Because you're stupid.
For all of the Eric July fans that were mad that we said it was a horrible story, now that we realize it
A horrible story that they never read.
doesn't matter.
We're reading it.
Oh, and again, it's an opinion. You're allowed to have.
Oh, tell us what an opinion is again, please.
I
forgot.
it's not a fact, okay? It's not a fact. It's a opinion. It's a video game.
Bobby, can Eric July come over and play video games with me?
We have Eric July at home. Hello, Uncle Ben's rice.
Oh, no.
Story.
It's a horrible story, and you were only supporting for the ideology. I apologize.
Nobody supports it for the ideology because it was never advertised as a political comic book or an
But
anti-woke
remember
comic book.
just a couple minutes ago when you said you support it because it's not going to fucking talk down to you and treat you like the other comic books do because it has a inherent ideology that you can trust. Remember that part? Remember that part, Papa?
It was marketed as a fun and entertaining return to form of superhero comics. But again, it's always lost on room temperature.
Can you tell us why it was entertaining? So, because like
This version of me from Earth 1016b sucks so much.
all you do is talk trash. You haven't told us why we should like it and how we're wrong about it. You haven't defended it really at all. All you say is that we didn't read it, which we're in the process of reading it. We're like more than a quarter of the way through it. And that you it's just like you just talk dumb shit about what we say.
And even if we
It's an opinion, man.
if we hadn't read it, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care to read it. I'll read it, whatever. I've read so many reviews of this that I feel like I've already read it. I've read reviews from people who are supporters of Eric July, and even they struggle to find something nice to say about the fucking book. I've read many reviews of this. I could probably tell you the entire fucking book without finishing reading it because of how many reviews I've read.
Brainlets like this guy. It's because there's so much fat on your body that it's consuming your mental ability to understand why the product is doing so well.
Oh, okay. Then what's your excuse for miscomprehension? And is it all the Gideo games you play?
Gideo games. Thank you.
You guys keep pumping Eric July's crayon fund so he can use his crayons to draw cool superheroes.
Crayons.
Yes.
Sound it out, buddy. Crayons.
This is the guy that said Gideo games.
My bad,
just
my
a
bad,
second
dude.
ago.
My bad. I can't believe I mispronounced crayons. Stories about himself
crayons
punching fucking club promoters.
And
it.
Yeah, he's attributing it to Dick Masterson when Flash said it, and Flash is too much of a coward to speak up and correct Eric July because he's part of the
Video
fucking
Games
ball washer
Underground
clique.
has the
Welcome
best
to your
video
fucking
games
Alpha
in
Force,
town.
the Beta Force ball washer clique.
Your Beta Force ball washer clique. It's like, bruh, do y'all just have this like fascination with balls and dicks or something?
Yes, he does. I do, yes.
It's okay if you're gay. I mean,
I'm not
we'll
gay.
accept you
Not gay.
regardless. But it's very interesting how everything comes back to balls and dicks for you.
You know
it's
what?
very weird that you
It
wanna
does for
instill your
him.
gay
Yes.
fantasies on other people.
And I wouldn't have it any
can't just
other
simply
way.
accept that people like a comic book made by an independent creator that you don't like because they have different politics than you. It's okay for you to have your own opinion and your own politics, but what you're essentially doing is you're talking shit about the people that like it because you don't like Eric July.
No, I'm talking shit about the comic book because Eric July says he's not going to debate any more FATS. I never talked bad about this book once prior to that. I didn't give a fuck about it. Once he went fucking glob-minded, he said, I'm not going to talk to anybody who's fat. If you want to talk to me, you better be fit. You better go for a run. Like, that's so stupid. That's him asking to be ridiculed by a fat. And as those of you know, I represent all fats. I'm the king fat. I just put Piers Morgan in a headlock. I just fucking sucked Blair White's dick to completion. I run this world as a fat. I'm the God Emperor fat.
And again, you have an opinion on a book that you've never read. Probably will never
We've read it.
And just because
We're in the-
Dick Masterson came out the woodwork and got called out by multiple people.
Who called him
and
out?
He apologized to Eric July and is still to this day talking shit about
Did did Dick Masterson apologize to Eric July?
Not that I heard, but I haven't been following it that closely.
Damn, dude.
Comic. Even after apologizing in a live stream. Just shows how much you and every other detractor lives absolutely rent-free. How Eric July lives rent-free in all of it.
Yeah, glad you had to take two on that one, you fucking soft brain.
Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below what you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell for notifications. Click on the bell and set it to all, that way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.
Ooh, that was so cute. He did the whole YouTuber thing like he was a real YouTuber. So cute.
Oh, Billy the Fridge. It's Mr. Billy the Fridge from the Drunken Peasants. Oh my God. I'm gonna dress in drag.
Look at the screen. Look at the screen. They screen cap my tweet. They have the FBI read it. I'm going to dress in drag and read ISOM to your kids at the public library. That was a fucking win of a tweet, dude. That was a fantastic tweet.
ISOM to your kids at the public library. Well, I got news for you. It's weird. And besides that, you'd be reading a great story to children that isn't gonna indoctrinate them or.
I love it. I love it.
Confuse them. At least they'll understand it better.
So he's happy with that. He thinks
Like,
that's
okay,
all right.
yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Dress up in your video game get up, Billy the Fridge. Come on, Billy the Fridge. Put your wig on and read them ISOM, Billy the Fridge.
At least he kind of like looks at the bright side of it. It's like, hey, this man is in drag.
He's too stupid to get too dark with it.
Billy the Fridge.
Fucking egg
Is Billy
chud.
the Fridge.
Egg chud.
Egg chud.
This guy's egg chud.
He's wearing an Isom t-shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing an Isom cum rag, but we won't talk about that. I was just watching Nina Infertile and I couldn't find my regular towel. So I blew a load into my Isom t-shirt and put it back on to record this video because apparently Billy the Fridge will be reading Isom at the public library. I support that idea.
Billy the Fridge.
Billy the Fridge.
So I'm gonna make this very short and very sweet because it's really
Sounds
not
like my
worth
dick.
my time talking about. But to all my haters and my distractors, people
Distractors. He meant detractors.
trying to get me off my fucking path, listen to me, okay, and listen carefully, dude.
I have never wanted to beat up someone so much as this weak chin, lumpy, soggy sack of rotten potatoes. His stupidity is amazing and how he sucks Eric July dick off like a Whataburger milkshake.
Oh, that one of those would hit the spot right now.
Yeah, I might blow Eric July for a Whataburger milkshake. If it's like a hot summer day and his nuts aren't too musty, that's a good trade.
I do not owe you anything. I do not owe you an explanation. I do not owe you apologies. This is the internet, princess. Okay,
It's cool 'cause
Get
we
over
don't
it
want
if
them-
I offended you.
If
Being an
somebody
edgy
wants
cunt.
an explanation or an apology from Jared Genesis at this point, they're not watching Jared Genesis. They don't understand Jared Genesis. He's burnt. He is. This is a burn notice. There is no redemption arc for Jared Genesis.
No,
He's fucking weird and gross.
He's a sicko.
He's a sicko.
I've caused a lot of trouble on the internet, since I started back in, good Lord, I don't know. It was back in the 90s. I was on AOL, and that's when my trolling began. Okay, I'm an edgy cunt. I like to stir the pot sometimes, but all in all, I'm a pretty decent guy. All right. If you can't see that I'm being a shitlord, I'm just gonna be frank with you. You're
In our pleb chat, Wolford says, Ben and Billy, what did y'all think of ISOM? Have you finished? We are 23 pages into ISOM. If you are a $10 or above patron, you can watch the first segment we did reading ISOM.
A live reaction, a live reading.
A live reading reaction commentary. And tonight we're going to hit it up again. And we'll probably maybe finish it this week or next week. I don't know exactly how deep we'll cut, but it could be finished as...
A lot of the pages go by quickly because they have hardly any text on them.
And we've been checking that none of them are stuck together, too. Because these ISOM fans, they really like ISOM.
an idiot and you need to read a book. I have no time for stupid people in my life, nor do I owe them anything. You're low IQ, you need to read a book. Because when you can do that,
You need to read a
you'll
book.
learn to not be stupid and make stupid choices. Like not being able to decipher if someone is being sarcastic or just edgy.
Oh.
Okay?
Which one were you
That's all
being?
I really have for you. You know, I get it. A lot of you guys, you're either just really old cat ladies who are mad at yourself because I make you sexually aroused.
I like how Jared has finally figured out that saying he wants to date 8-year-olds publicly is a bad deal.
And now he's like, yeah, but I bet you in some DMs he's still talking the weird shit.
Well, I mean, we don't know. We know we've had people talk to him in DMs before, and he said the same stuff to them, if not worse than what he said publicly.
Worse.
He's saying now that these cat ladies want to be with him. I don't know if that's true either. I don't know
doubt
if
it.
I would trust anything Jared Genesis said. You can trust what he does. You can trust he's not a clean freak.
He says he's OCD, which is kind of weird.
And that's okay. You know, I can see why I do that because I've lost some weight now. But I think a lot of
Wolford
you...
in the pleb chat says Wolford finished it, and honestly, Isom leaves more questions than answers, and not in a good way. Where you're excited for the next volume. Gotta respect the grift, though. I think that's honestly the truth right there. You gotta respect the grift. He's coming up on $5 million overall for 2 comic books. That's good. That's good for an indie comic campaign. That's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, you just want someone to hate. You want someone to feel better about your own sad life, and here I am, the perfect target, because when you're different, when you walk to the beat of your own drum, you will be targeted. That's just how it is, as a chosen one, as an empath. Okay, yes,
He's a chosen one, and he's like taking on this spiritual guru kind of persona.
He's always used words to describe himself that had no
I'm a rebel
validity.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. Maybe he did rebel against capitalism by living in his parents' house.
He still lives under capitalism. It's just someone else is fronting the bill for him.
That's good capitalism.
Like, I would say, like, winning against capitalism would be like starting an actual, like, effective commune of people that, like, live off the grid, but, like, and are, like, self-support, like, self-sufficient. That would be, like, true, like, getting away from it. But,
or if you found a way to steal to survive.
Wendy's?
If you could,
live off the grid.
I beat capitalism by using fast food apps and getting free burgers all day.
That's what you could do. You could enlist someone to leave the woods that you live in and steal Wendy's and bring it back.
I just dig through the garbage cans at Chipotle and find the receipts with the high value orders and type the receipt number into my phone so I get free Chipotle points and I eat free Chipotle out of the garbage.
Is that true?
Can. You could do that.
Taking it there.
I think there's a
Lots
limit
of
to how many
narcissists out there,
receipts
bro.
you can copy, though.
And they are vicious. They're sad, vicious people who just want to cope. And, you know, because they're insecure and because they need to constantly validate themselves. I have trolls who do this. They are miserable. And so I'm basically their punching bag to try to find validation in themselves. I know women do this too. And I would consider them even more vicious if we're being quite frank. So guys, listen, all right? I said some things about 4 years ago that maybe
Sarah is saying they never ask you for a receipt or anything at Chipotle. You can just take the to-go orders and no one will bat an eye. That is stealing. That is stealing. But if you go to Chipotle and you look for the to-go orders in a rush, sometimes they'll have orders that never got picked up. And if you look at the clock and they're like over an hour and a half old, you can get some free garbage day old chill room temperature Chipotle.
Said, but
Nobody's
if you
gonna
knew
miss
my
that.
story and the amount of shit I was dealing with before that, maybe you would understand why I chose to stir the pot. I'm a victim of gang stalking. My house has been swatted over 10 times. I think it's probably...
He was never swatted.
Just me, Tim Pool, and Ice Poseidon who have reached that 10 mark. So I'm probably top 10 most swatted people. Okay, I've dealt with other kinds of miscellaneous bullshit that I don't even want to get into. All because of what? I hurt people's feelings. That's all this boils down to, and if you can't see that, quite frankly, you're just an idiot.
Well, no, I mean, you hurt our feelings by saying you would date an 8-year-old and then going into people's DMs and saying that you would date their 4-year-old sister and stuff like that. That's where you hurt our feelings, and it was more us feeling that you might be a danger to society.
Yeah, but
that's
now
the problem.
I just think like he just is weird, and I don't think he participates in society. I think he just stays in
Which is probably better for society.
Yeah.
If he is about as active as the stains on his bedroom floor, then that's probably better for the children in the area.
Yeah. We're going to put Billy full screen here.
Bop. Everybody watching right now, use your inside voices and or donations to ask me questions, and I'll give you answers. If you're not ready for the answer, don't ask the question. Because I'll tell you the truth, even if you can't handle the truth. Oh, Ozempic. How about that big fat guy who was putting stuff under his boobs? That was pretty sweet. I gotta start chucking shit under my tits, make money. Scotty says, what's your favorite dirt bike? Kawasaki, dude. I don't ride dirt bikes, though. But thank you for the question. Billy, how much money did you make today? I made no money today. I made zero money. I have no money today. They are handy. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Billy, you should find the donut. Like, by donut, do you mean female genitalia? What are you talking? Billy, what are the top 3 things you'd put under your tits? A tamale in husk, because the body temperature would keep it just warm enough to be edible at all times. Great to sneak into a movie theater if you have a little tamale in the movie theater. I would keep a loaded gun under my tit, so I'd be ready to fucking spray anybody at a moment's notice. And I would also, under my tit, keep a word-for-word copy of the United States Constitution. Dazed the Bard says, Billy, why am I fat? Well, because in the 1980s, they decided to have a fat-free commercial run in a lot of food. And what they did was they took out fat from food and replaced it with corn syrup. It was Big Corn trying to push a narrative that corn syrup was better for you than natural fats that were already found in your food. You'll see Twinkies from the early 90s say 97% fat-free. Shit like that. Shit like that is why you're fat. They fucked with your food so much. They pumped so much corn syrup into your food, so much high fructose fuck all, that it destroyed your body's natural composition to endure nutrients. So not only are you you're over consuming calories, but you're under consuming nutritional value. So at the same time, you're overeating and under eating based on what's going in your body. Not enough nutrients, way too many calories. And that's why you're fat.
We are about to do the post show in a few minutes here. Anyone who would like to see it, you should sign up. Patreon.com/DP. It's pinned in the chat. And we will be going over some ISOM. And reacting to it. Live reading, reaction. We're about a quarter of the way through right now.
Stabby McHug says you lack discipline.
You lack discipline. That's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger
I will tell you
thing.
this right now, Stabby McHugs. If you had the options that I have at my disposal, if you ever had the options I had, you wouldn't know what discipline was. You have discipline only because your options are so minimal.
All right. It's time. We are going there now. Everyone, join us there. Sign up, $10 on Patreon, and then tomorrow we're doing Spin Till You Spew, and you don't want to miss that because that is drunken madness.
Come on over, patrons, $10 and above. It's not too late. Sign up, 10 buckaroos. Don't let the party end just because we're going to the Patreon. Follow us over.
Follow us over. See you there.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.